Alright guys, welcome to another episode of First Lick. My name is Tommy. My goal here today is to show you guys products that have just came out or is about to come out so that you guys can decide at home if that is something you guys need to throw onto your build. So let's jump straight into it. Let's go with this Runcam. Now if you look really closely, it's got my man JB's little signature on there. Mr. Joshua Bardwell has worked with Runcam to create a special Joshua Bardwell edition. Now what that means is that this camera, Joshua Bardwell has spent some time to go ahead and come out with the most ideal settings. Now I'm going to go ahead and say that the Micro Eagle, for me, especially when combined with the HDO Fat Sharks, I would say is like the pilot's camera. I don't think it has the most gorgeous looking image quality as far as color and saturation and things like that. But what it does for me that I really like, the clarity and detail. When you're going through shadows or you're coming into a dive under a tree canopy, it does actually a really good job of showing you all the little details. That is at the top of my list. This is a full-size lens. So this is an M12 threaded lens, which gives you guys the options of running a whole bunch of different lenses. Oh, one more thing. The production version, this is just the prototype, is actually going to come with this transparent adapter so that you can use this micro cam on frames that only accept full-size cameras. Moving right along, still from Runcam, here you go. This is a mini DVR 20x20 form factor. Now this is for the guys who want to record clean analog video footage. You know, you're like, hey, I can record DVR on my goggles. Why do I need this? With this, you get to record the image quality straight off the camera, which means you're not gonna get those analog noise and RF issues and frequencies when it's coming back to you. This is the way to do it to get clean footage. All right, check that out. Runcam DVR footage, 20x20 stack, fairly lightweight. Throw in the micro SD card, good to roll. Moving right along, we've got this guy, SpeedyBee. Now SpeedyBee is actually more of an app. Is that true? Was it SpeedyBee is an app, right? So this in particular is an all-in-one flight controller, 30x30 stack. It's got the MPU 6000 gyro on it, so awesome, and it's got all your standard stuff. So you got your PDB on here, you got pads to solder your ESCs, but what makes this special is it's got that Bluetooth module built right onto the board, which means you download the app on your smartphone and you can control everything as if you're plugged into the Betaflight configurator, including CLI commands. So that is the one step up from, say, your typical Betaflight OSD or even your Lua scripts. You could just bust out your smartphone and even do CLI commands. Now, how often do you do CLI commands? I don't know, but what this does allow you to do is pretty much take your laptop completely out of the equation when you're out into the field. My good old friends from Germany, aka flyduino.net, KISS has come out the gate with closed proprietary software, and in an open source world, that that can kind of go either way, but they have proven themselves because they've been around pretty much since day one. And check this out. This is their new version of their 25 amp race ESC, 25 constant, 40 amp burst. Now KISS tends to underrate their stuff, so this can really actually handle a lot of power. Don't let that 25 amp number fool you. Now here's the old KISS 24. You can get that size difference there. I like the fact that everything just keeps getting smaller. In fact, KISS was one of the original people to shrink down ESCs. This is about the size of the old KISS 18 amp. This is definitely the way to go. So let's get a quick measurement on what we are saving here. Here's the old one, 3.7 grams. New one coming in at 2.9. So we'll just round up and say about a 1 gram difference, which is actually quite interesting because if you really look at it, this is like almost half the size, but not half the weight, which means they're just cramming everything together, making things more dense, but that is okay because I do want things like this to get smaller. But there's something I'm a little bit more excited about than this. Bam! See, I'm so excited that I already took it out of the box and tried to install it already. 4-in-1 ESC, which is by KISS, which really is 4 of those KISS 25 amp ESCs onto a 30x30 mounting board, along with a single cable connector that plugs into your KISS Flight controller, which makes this entire thing a breeze. I'm excited for it because I haven't messed with KISS stuff in a long time, and this right here is what makes things easier. I think that this industry is going towards a direction where integrating things and making the whole build process and repair process easier is the way to go. This is no exception. So guys at KISS, awesome work. I'll let you guys know what I think about this entire thing. but to be honest, generally KISS stuff has been really solid. But there it is, check that out, coming out soon from KISS. I'm pulling out my remix already because yet this is another product that I was too excited about, and I've already installed it. Look at that little red board. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Helio Spring FC, which, by the way, this runs or was made specifically for butterfly. What makes this one special? Now, you might recall on the last First Look episode that I did, I talked about the Clean Flight board, which used 2 gyros, gyro going this way, gyro going this way, and they aggregated that data to figure out what was noise and what was real and fed that through the PID loop. What these guys have done is not use 2 gyros, but they use 2 MCUs. So this flight controller has an F4 chip and an F3 chip. One is dedicated to doing all the PID loop and all of the flight controller stuff, and the other MCU is dedicated just to filter out noise on the gyro. That is innovation. I do have this on my quad, but granted, I haven't spent enough time yet to really tune the butterfly. So I can really only give you my opinions on it based off of default PIDs. Right out of the box, I would say that it handles acro really, really well. And I mean, when I mean well, I mean like you can give it snappy moves and it just gives you these crisp movements. It just stops, there is no bounce back. And I think out of the box, it does that better than Betaflight default PIDs. Now, for the rest of the flying characteristics, again, because it's default PIDs, I don't think it's a fair comparison for me to say anything else beyond just what I've observed with crisp, snappy maneuvers. But time will tell. Check that out. It runs Betaflight, Helio Spring FC. Check that out. Last but not least, the Rapidfire module. And then this has been the talk of the town, and rightfully so. I mean, there was a lot of talk and a lot of hype with Clearview coming out with their module. I forget exactly what happened, but it sounds like that's not gonna happen anymore, which is perfect timing for Immersion RC because this Rapidfire module is awesome. Now, I've been able to check this out in person at the Immersion R&D Labs. I was flying a little, like a small brushed whoop on 1 milliwatt. I'm telling you guys, I had the most perfect picture. It was really clean. Now, for those of you that don't know, what the Rapidfire module does is it takes 2 antennas, but it doesn't switch between one or the other. It doesn't sit there and decide this one's better, so I'm gonna go here, oh, this one's better, so I'm gonna go here. Instead, it takes the Clearview approach, except they wrote their own algorithms where they take the signal from one antenna, signal from the second antenna, and they aggregate that, and through some kind of crazy Immersion RC magic, out comes a very, very clean feed for you, the pilot. A whole bunch of other features, but again, this is just a quick first look. And that's how we're gonna wrap up this episode, guys. See you on the next one. Peace out.